And good evening, East Alabama and West Georgia. Dr. Dodd in here with you on your Wednesday evening. Coming up on 8:37 Central, 9:37 Eastern, and we have a severe thunderstorm warning now for Heard County, for southern Carroll County and northern Heard County in west central Georgia. And this storm is moving from east to west, so it may very well end up in Randolph County in the next 30 minutes or so. So you folks over there around Graham, Newell, Woodland, even down toward Wedowee, heads up. We've got a strong thunderstorm moving through West Georgia that may end up in East Alabama in the next 30 minutes or so. So that's why we're here this evening. Let's go ahead and let me read you the text of the warning from the National Weather Service office out of Peachtree City. The National Weather Service has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for southwestern Carroll County in northwest Georgia and for northwestern Heard County in west central Georgia until 10:15 Eastern. At 9:25 p.m. Eastern, a severe thunderstorm was located over Lowell, or 7 miles south of Carrollton, moving to the west at 15 miles per hour. The main threat from this storm is 60 mile per hour wind gust. And so you could expect some damage to rooftop siding and possibly some trees. Again, severe thunderstorm warning now for southern Carroll and northern Heard County in effect until 10:15 Eastern, 9:15 Central this evening. And this is the storm that we're talking about, as it is moving backwards this evening. We've seen this several times already this season. The strongest part of the storm now is south of Carrollton. It's going to be from about Highway 166 that runs from Bowden back up to Carrollton. It's just the heaviest part of it's just south of 166. And that stretches to the south all the way back down to about Rootville. The storm is just about ready to move through the Rootville area. And then another strong cell behind it up around Highway 16 that runs from Carrollton back down to Whitesburg. That's also moving off to the west. So you folks over here in Rootville, even down around Tyus, Bowden, you're probably going to catch the northern edge of this as it moves off to the west. Heads up over in Bucktown up there on Highway 100. I believe this is going to stay, probably the heaviest part of it will stay north of Central Hatchie. Certainly will stay north of Franklin. But you folks over in Red Oak, Ephesus, maybe up there around Yellow Dirt, you're getting some of that now. And then up in Carroll County, up there around Bucktown, and again, of course, Bowden, could certainly see the heaviest part of this storm as it moves on off to the west. So I'll back the loop up and I'll take it forward frame by frame. You can see it's not moving extremely fast, and these storms that we've seen this afternoon have been rather slow movers. They're saying this is moving at about 15 miles per hour. So it's got a ways to go before it gets into East Alabama. So you folks over in southern Cleburne County and north and central Randolph County, you know, we just kind of got to wait and see here and see if this thing holds together as it moves into Randolph and southern Cleburne, maybe in about 30 to 45 minutes or so. No tornado threat tonight. As you can see by the icons on the screen, there is a tremendous amount of lightning with this storm. That's 121 strikes that you're looking at there just in the last 2 minutes. So there's a tremendous amount of lightning involved with this storm, torrential rainfall, and of course gusty straight line winds up to around 60 miles per hour. The main threat with these storms that we're seeing out there this afternoon. Now, you folks up here in Newell, you got a developing shower right on top of you. Highway 431 there just south of Folsom. Then also over here on the eastern side of Randolph County on County Road 87, just northeast of Potash, we've got a light shower developing there. And over in this would be Clay County. Over in Clay County along Highway 48, we have a developing storm there just to the east of downtown Lineville, and some scattered showers down in the southern part of Clay County around Millerville and just west of Mountain Community. As we go on down to the south, just some very light scattered sprinkles really down here in northern Chambers County back over toward Marcoot, and then that continues on into southern Tallapoosa. Lee County, you're looking pretty good. Some scattered light showers down there. Just north of Columbus, we've got a heavier shower, but it's not strong. And then coming back up the western side of Georgia, we see one cell trying to get going there just to the east of Franklin. That's not part of this thunderstorm complex that's prompted the severe thunderstorm warning. So we'll watch that as we go through the next few minutes as well. Noonan, you've got some showers just north of you, but the story and the reason for the severe thunderstorm warning and the reason why we are here with you this evening is this thunderstorm complex that's primarily in Carroll County, just south of Carrollton, the northern edge of this thing now stretching from about Bowden back to the east, right along Highway 166 and south all the way down to about Rupeville. And this is moving west. It's moving from Georgia back into Alabama, so it's moving a little bit backwards this evening. Heads up if you're in Bucktown, down here to maybe Central Hatchie or just north of Central Hatchie. And then you folks over here in Cleburne and Randolph, pay attention to this. We'll see if it holds together as it moves back into Alabama. Places like Ranburne, Newell, Graham, Woodland, and maybe as far south as Wedowee. We'll just kind of have to see how this develops as we move over the next couple of 15, 20, or 30 minutes or so. So I'll go up here and take a look at the chat room, see if anybody has any questions, comments, or concerns. Good evening, Tin Shop. Good to see y'all in the house this evening. Hello, Mellow Valley, Miss Sherry. Good to have you in here with us. Roanoke's in the house. Folks, click on that link that you see that we post here where you can give Restream. There it is right there. It's the Restream.io post that you see here in the chat room. Click on that and give Restream permission to access your username on Facebook so I can see who you are. And that's all you're doing is giving. We use a third-party application that handles our distribution of our stream, and Facebook recently changed all their stuff, and now you have to give Restream permission to show me who you are. So please do that so I know who you are. If you don't, then you just show up as a Facebook user here in the chat room, and I have no idea who I'm talking to. So please do that. Let's see. Sherry Yarborough is watching us in Lynette this evening. Hey, Joyce McDonald, good to see you in here. Nita Starnes watching us from Glenn, Georgia. Also, good evening to Lynette, Alabama. There's Terry Gray. Mike Hill watching us from Panama City Beach down on the Gulf Coast. Roxanne's in the house. Alexander City. Let's see. Minnie Heflin Jackson watching us tonight. Good to see you. Valley, Alabama. Thank you, Emily. Thanks for joining us. So Wanda Morris is confirming that lots of lightning and power outage back towards Carrollton. Yeah, right along Highway 166 there is where the heaviest part of this storm is. Jeremy Gore says that he's sitting in the Kroger parking lot. I'm assuming he must be in Carrollton. Says there's a tremendous amount of lightning and winds rocking the truck pretty good. Yeah, and that should, if you're in Carrollton, you should be looking off to your south. There are lightning strikes right around Carrollton too, but the heaviest part of this storm is right along 166 and to the south. Again, folks, if you're on Facebook and if you haven't already done so, please click on that Restream.io link right there. That talks about, let me go back up here and get it. so I can tell you the right one. It's the one that's the chat.restream.io. And allow Restream to show your name if you're on Facebook. If you don't, I have no idea who I'm talking to because you show up as a Facebook user on this end. That's a Facebook thing. Nikki Gay's watching us up on beautiful Lake Wedowee. Phyllis is in Roopville. Phyllis, you ought to be getting in on the action. Well, the heaviest lightning is going to be to your north. The heavier rain showers should be moving in to Roopville as we speak. Miss Letitia Barber's in the house. Good to see you. Catherine Williams is in Wedowee. There's Beth Eldridge. She's watching us in Roanoke. Kay Branch is in the mountain community. Tencarlo Miles is watching us in Hoover, Alabama. Tonight over in Birmingham. Tencarlo, this stuff's way over in Georgia. I doubt very seriously that this storm would stay together all the way to Birmingham. And it's only moving at about 15 miles per hour. So even if it did, we're talking multiple hours before it made it to Birmingham. I don't really see anything around Birmingham of any concern. I mean, you got some light showers from the north side all the way back down just south of Bessemer. But, yeah, this storm that's over in Carroll County, in all likelihood, this particular storm would never make it to Birmingham. Now, I mean, other storms could form, but this one that's prompted the severe thunderstorm warning, odds are it would never make it that far. Regina Nichols is watching us in LaGrange this evening. Faye Bozeman is in Valley. Judy Runyon's watching us up in Bowden. Ought to be getting a pretty good thunderstorm right now in Bowden. Joe Knight, my weather watcher over in Corinth, Alabama, is in the house. Good to see you, Mr. Joe. Good to see you back active, too. Brenda's watching us in southeast Randolph County. Jolene Johns in Rock Stand. Reba Conjures watching us from Woodland. Tony Johns. It's moving backwards. It's moving out of Georgia back into Alabama. I'll put it in motion so you guys can kind of see which way it's going. Yeah, if you're in northern Clay County, pay attention to this. If you're in southern Cleburne, well, obviously, southern Carroll and northern Hurd is already under a severe thunderstorm warning. If you're in southern Cleburne, northern Randolph, northern Clay, keep an eye on this thing as it moves back into Alabama, and we'll see if the National Weather Service is going to extend the severe thunderstorm warning any further back to the west as this storm moves into Alabama. And y'all bear with me just a second. I'm going to fire up another computer so I can keep an eye on what the Weather Service is going to do with this thing. There's old Cam Warren watching us up in Folsom, Alabama this evening. Teresa Kirby. Thank you, Teresa. Appreciate those kind words. If you're just joining us, we are doing live severe weather coverage this evening because of a severe thunderstorm warning that's been issued by the National Weather Service office out of Peachtree City for southern Carroll County and northern Hurd County for a severe thunderstorm that is just south of Carrollton now and back over toward Bowden. The heaviest part of this storm is stretching from Bowden back down to Lowell or down to about Roopville. So Old Highway 2 and Highway 166 are the two main highways that run through this thunderstorm this evening. And this storm is moving from east to west. It's moving completely backwards from the way our weather normally works. So instead of moving through East Alabama and into West Georgia, it's moving into West Georgia and then eventually into East Alabama. We've already seen this happen a couple of times this year. And though it is a little tad unusual to see it multiple times in the same year, it's not unusual to see weather move in this manner. It does happen. We typically have a couple of rounds each year where we see storms come in backwards, but we've seen this happen multiple times this year, so that is a little bit out of the ordinary. But there are good explanations for it. The world's not coming to an end. And we are beginning to see, I think that's an old trough that's getting pushed north out ahead of this line of thunderstorms. So we are beginning to see some showers pop now in southern Talladega, Clay, and even into Randolph before this thunderstorm complex even gets in here. So showers and thunderstorms on the increase there just south of the I-20 corridor. The storms that are already in Alabama, that are developing in Alabama, are moving to the north, and the storms that are in southern Carroll are moving back to the west, back into southern Cleburne and probably northern Randolph, maybe as far south as Wedowee. And then if they hold together, they may make it over into the Delta area, down to around Lineville, and potentially as far south as Ashland over in Clay. Yes, Rock, it is going to snow 6 inches tonight. Just for you. Tracy Bear is watching us in Wedowee. We have our comedian from Rock Mills in the house. Yeah, Chris, the backward storms again. That's right, Joe. She does what she wants to do, and ain't a whole lot we can do about it. But prepare for it and try to get out of her way. Julie Urshry's in the house. Stephanie Taylor says that she's outside watching the show in Potash. Yeah, if you're up on the ridge and you look back up toward Carrollton, you should be seeing a pretty intense lightning event taking place out there right now. I mean, we're talking just the frame you're looking at on your screen. Let me bring it current and stop it. We're talking 172 strikes in the last 2 minutes. Those icons that you see on the screen right there are all lightning strikes that have taken place in the last couple of 2 or 3 minutes. So that's some pretty significant lightning taking place. Really concentrated around Bowden and then back toward Carrollton, just along and just south of 166, and then right down the southwest corner of Carroll County. We're seeing a good bit of lightning too, just to the west of Roopville. And all that's going to move right into Randolph County and southern Cleburne. So you folks up there, basically from 46 south and then probably from Wedowee north in Randolph County is going to see the majority of this. Now, we've got some stuff over in eastern Heard County that's not severe that will also move to the west, and that could potentially affect you folks down here on the southern end, down there around Roanoke and Rock Mills and maybe even Wadley. So, stormy night in Georgia and East Alabama. Hey, Roy Ann Hodges. Boondocks. We need some Boondocks as a partner here on Dr. Don's Weather. I was in New Hope over the weekend for the New Hope Volunteer Fire Department turkey shoot, and we went by Boondocks a couple of times. Yeah, Chris, that's the reason for the severe thunderstorm warning in Heard for Carroll County. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts are possible with this storm. Most likely a gust front right ahead of the storm. But that's why they issued this severe thunderstorm warning. 60-mile-per-hour straight-line winds are possible. Lifeline EMS. I got to meet those fine folks Saturday. Appreciate them stopping by the New Hope Volunteer Fire Department. Again, folks, if you're on Facebook, and if you have not already done so, please click. Just scroll through the comments here, and you'll find a link. And the link says chat.restream.io/Facebook. Please click on that and allow Restream to show me who you are. If you do not do that, you show up on my end as a Facebook user. I have no idea who you are. And I see several of you posting and making comments, but I can't call your name because I don't know who you are. So be sure you do that. That's all it does is share your handle, whatever you've got your Facebook handle set up as. Hollis Crossroads, Jonathan Cofield. Let's see. Question about LaGrange. Will it be in LaGrange? I know. This particular storm will stay well north of LaGrange. And now we have other areas of rain, not too far from LaGrange, but the storm that is prompting the severe thunderstorm warning is well north of LaGrange, and it's moving west. So that will not affect LaGrange at all. Paige Mitchell watching us up there at Big Springs. Good to see you, Paige. All right, let's see. Let's see if I can see what the Weather Service is going to do with this severe thunderstorm warning. They ought to be making a decision here pretty much any moment. We're going to be in Woodland on July 30th, too, guys, and we're giving away tickets to go to the Vern Fest. Little Texas is going to be in concert this year. We're giving away 3 different sets of tickets between now and then. And to become eligible to win, all you have to do is get a free, no-obligation insurance quote from Jamie Dukas. And then your name goes in the hat for the drawing where you're going to win the Dr. Don Weather app. You're going to win a car freshie from K&L Car Charms. And then you're also going to be eligible to win those tickets. And I think our first drawing is coming up this Friday. So go ahead and get that cost-free, no-obligation insurance quote so you can win those tickets and then come hang out with us in Woodland all day long. Gates open at 5, show starts at 7, and we're going to have a good time with Little Texas. Kevin Moon and Callie Knight is also going to be in concert on July 30th in Woodland, Alabama. Woodland. All right, let's see. So I have not received any updates since the warning was issued at 9:25. So we will just hang tight here and see. The warning is in effect until 10:15 Eastern, 9:15 Central. So we got about another 15 minutes to go with the warning. We'll see if Alabama, because see, here's what happened, folks. Peachtree City National Weather Service Atlanta issues the warnings for West Georgia, and then when we get into East Alabama, that responsibility switches over to the Shelby County Airport National Weather Service Office, Birmingham, and then they issue the warnings for the Alabama counties. So we'll see if Birmingham is going to extend the warning on over into Alabama, or if they are going to cover that with a special weather statement. The leading edge of the storm is touching the Cleburne County, Carroll County line right now. So if they're going to do anything at all, I would expect it to come down at any moment now. Yeah, Troy, it is. There's a tremendous amount of lightning in this storm. That's what I was just talking about. It has backed off a little bit. In the last 2 to 3 minutes, we're looking at 118 strikes. About 15 minutes ago, it was running about 170 strikes in the same general area. So the lightning output is coming down just a little bit, but is still significant. And the warning was issued for the possibility of damaging straight line winds of up to 60 miles per hour, most likely along a gust front that's running out right ahead of this line of storms. All right, so y'all hang with me. I'm going to switch over to the next rad, and we're on Birmingham. No, we're on Atlanta. It's okay. All right, there we go. And that gives us a little more detailed look. Now, understand NextRad radar looks a little more ominous than the composite, but it gives us a little more data to look at. And you can see now that the heaviest activity now is down around Roopville. We have the heaviest rainfall, probably the best concentration of lightning, though, is still up here along 166, even though we have lightning all over the entire area now. So the rain's just now getting into the Bucktown area up there on Highway 100. Got rain up here at Ranburne at the football stadium. Rain letting up a little bit in downtown Bowden, but just south of downtown it's raining pretty hard. And then back up on 166 we still have heavy rain. And then the same over here in Cleburne County from Abernathy all the way back down to Ranburne. We have some heavy showers up here around Pine Tucky from Pine Hill all the way back over to 431 north of Foster's Crossroads. And then right there along the Heard, Troop, Randolph County line, the Heard County, Randolph County line, right there around Ridgeway and Red Oak, we've got one developing small shower as well. But no question the big show is still back up here in southern Carroll for the most part and extreme northern Heard County. And so this is kind of the way this thing is moving. You see it's only moving at about 15 miles per hour, so it's a slow mover. And it's just going to take a while for it to get back into Alabama. So as long as we have a severe thunderstorm warning, we're going to stay with you here. And I think the Weather Service is going to be updating this at any moment. They should update at any moment and let us know what they're going to do with this thing. Yeah, Hillary, it's just thunder in Woodland because the storm's still across the Georgia state line, but it is moving in your general direction. All that thunder you're hearing is coming from that impressive lightning show back over in southern Carroll County. But the storm is moving backwards tonight, so it's moving out of Georgia back into Alabama and is definitely moving toward the Woodland area. All right, let me copy this link and post it again because it auto-posts. If you'll scroll back up and scroll back down, you should see 3 links that post every 5 minutes. All of them say Restream, but if you look over to the right-hand side and about the middle ways down, of that post, you'll see where it says chat.restream.io/Facebook. But let me copy that, and I will post it. There it is. I just posted it. If you'll click on that link that I just posted, if you're on Facebook, now this does not apply to you if you're on YouTube or Twitch or Twitter or any of the other social media. This only applies to Facebook. If you're on Facebook and you haven't already done so, click that link that I just posted and allow Restream to have access to your Facebook handle so I can see who you are. If you don't do that, all I see is Facebook user. Just like watching from Big Springs. I have no idea who you are. What about James Spann? He's a good meteorologist. I taught him everything he knows. Christina Conway. All she said was James Spann. So. I think it probably will stay north of Alexander City, Sharon, so I don't think you've got anything to worry about here. All right, so we've got about 5, 6, 7, about 8 minutes left on this severe thunderstorm warning, and I'm watching both Birmingham and Atlanta, and so far neither one of them have issued anything on this to give us any indication on whether they're going to continue it or whether they're going to just let it expire at 9:15. It doesn't look quite as strong as it did 30 minutes ago, and the lightning output has definitely come down. We're down to 93 strikes in the last 2 to 3 minutes. We were at 175 when we first started, and that was 33 minutes ago. So at least from a lightning perspective, there's a good indication there that the storm is weakening some as it slowly moves off to the west. Yeah, I think Lake Wedowee will get some of this. I sure do. Absolutely, James Spann would agree with me. Carol, you know that. Absolutely. Matter of fact, he called me just a few minutes ago and asked me what I thought. So. I said, James, I hadn't got time for you. I've got to go take care of my people in East Alabama and West Georgia since you and Glenn can't do it. So here we are. We're going to switch over to Birmingham. I may have to go back to Atlanta, though, because let's see what happens here. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Yes, probably this thing is kind of building to the south a little bit too. So, I mean, it's conceivable we could get. So we're going to get some of this down here in Franklin. So we could end up with some of it down here in Roanoke as well. Wedowee most definitely. But I don't think we have a severe thunderstorm here much anymore. Gosh, Carol, you're going to make me blush. Thanks, Shelby. Well, Carol, despite your school that you pulled for, I guess I feel the same about you too. You've been a long time friend, and We all wish you the best, and you're going to be just fine. Huh. Well, I don't understand why you wouldn't be seeing all the comments if you're in the chat room. I don't know the answer to that. But I will put my IT person on that and see if we can figure out what's going on. All right, so send me. I'm not seeing all comments because I can't see where you posted the link. That's bizarre. Send me a message on Messenger. I'll send you the link that way. And let me know, are you in Dr. Don's weather? Are you on East Alabama Weather Group, Central Alabama Weather Group, or my personal page? Let me know how you have joined this. Which group are you in joining this live feed? That may help me troubleshoot that. Oxford, yeah, Oxford's probably going to get a little bit out of this, but again, we're losing the severity of this. All right, so we're coming up on 9/12. The severe thunderstorm warning is set to expire here in just a couple of minutes. And so far, I have nothing from the National Weather Service. So if I had to bet, they're just going to let this thing expire at 9:15. And we're going to call it quits because this storm is well below severe limits now. You can clearly see that by the moment, the lightning output has just really dropped off. We're at 56 strikes now. When we started this about 37 minutes ago, we were at 160 or 170 something strikes per 2 to 3 minutes. So the lightning output has really dropped off, and they're going to let this thing expire here in about 30 seconds. So here's the deal, folks. If you live in southern Cleburne, I'm talking about I-20 and south in Cleburne and even over here in Calhoun. If you're in Randolph County, probably as far south as at least Roxton, maybe Roanoke. If you're over here in Clay County, this thunderstorm complex is going to slowly drift off to the west over the next couple of hours. Now, we'll start to see these storms fade out now that we've lost the heating of the day. They'll hang around probably till around midnight or maybe a little bit after midnight, and then they'll be gone. We've lost the heating of the day. So I would not anticipate this thing flexing back up. I think it will suffer a slow death now as it continues to slowly drift off to the west. But nonetheless, you're getting some pretty good rainfall now from Carrollton back down to Bucktown, over to Roopville, down to Central Hatchie. And then in Randolph County, Graham, back over toward Newell, Folsom. I think Woodland, eventually you're going to get in on the action. I think Wedowee, you're very likely going to see some of this. Questionable for Roxton, questionable for Roanoke and Rock Mills and Wadley. And then probably the northern side or the northern half of Clay County, Delta, back down to at least Lineville, maybe Ashland. Should see what's left of this by the time it gets over there. And we'll already see a shower, a totally separate shower and thunderstorm developing over there around Winterboro. That will give you some rain over there in the southern half of Talladega County. So I think the severe threat was very small today anyway. We did have one storm that was able to generate enough energy to go severe there for about 15 or 20 minutes, but it has been slowly dying ever since then. And I think that pattern is going to continue for the rest of the evening. So we have now lost the severe thunderstorm warning. We have no warnings in effect across East Alabama or West Georgia. Still have a good bit of lightning taking place from Central Hatchie back up to around Bowden and then on up Highway 46 there in Cleburne County just south of I-20. So you're going to see a pretty good lightning show, but I think that will continue to taper off as we go through the next 30 or 40 minutes or so as well. So we are going to wrap up our coverage. As always, we ask that you support us if you possibly can. If you're on Facebook, you can do that by sending us those Facebook stars. You can click the link that I just posted here where you can donate to us at drdonwx.com. Or however you want to do it. We appreciate anything you can do to help us out here on Dr. Don's Weather. And you've been watching severe live coverage here in the Alpha Weather Center. The Severe Weather Center radar is brought to you by Southern Union State Community College. And if the good Lord's willing and the creek don't rise, I'll see you back in here first thing tomorrow morning with your morning primetime forecast, unless there is reason to come back between now and then, and I doubt that there will be. I'll see you back in here tomorrow. And I'll have a good rest of your evening. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye now.